have a very special guest who flew in to visit us.
You just keep fighting.
Right? And we have a very special guest who came all the way to make sure we were fired up tonight. She has now traveled to, I believe she said, 3 or 4 states in the past 2 days, but it's coming from the national campaign. Our good friend of the Grand State, Erin Perrine. Thanks so much, Erin.
So far, but we'll see how New Hampshire feels. Who's ready for 4 more years of President Trump and Vice President? That blows the media's mind. The president loves to say that at rallies and events where he's like, 8 more years, 12 more years. They all start losing their minds. It's so hard to believe, but we have 35 days left. That's nothing. We are down to less than 5 Tuesdays. Honestly, it is now or never. And there's the old Ronald Reagan adage, which is, freedom's only 1 generation away from extinction. We're 1 vote. Truly. And it's not hyperbole. It's not me going over the edge. It's not me fear-mongering. This is where we're at in this country. Why? Look at Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Look at where this country stands with them at the top of the Democrat ticket. Do you want AOC at the Department of Energy?
No!
Do you want crooked Hillary Clinton back in the cabinet? No? Do you want Beto O'Rourke as the gun guy?
No!
Do you want Adam Schiff in anything with the intelligence? Do you want Elizabeth Warren working with the Native American kids? No? Well, let's make sure we do our part to give Nancy Pelosi lots of time to go to the hair salon and eat her ice cream and flip the House of Representatives, right? We want a Republican House.
We're in jail.
We want a Republican House. But you know what else we need? We need President Trump and Vice President Pence.
Yeah. Amen.
And it's up to us. Because Democrats want to scare us. And tonight, what are we going to hear from Joe Biden? Hopefully we'll hear him get pushed. Hopefully we'll hear him get asked a real question, because how is your soul feeling? And why aren't you more angry at the president? Are not questions you ask someone who wants to lead the country. Calling the end of the day at 9:30 in the morning is not something from somebody who wants to lead the country. I mean, Joe Biden really thinks he's got that 9 to 9:30 slot nailed down. And that the rest of the day is just going to be a wash, so we're going to wrap it up, pack it up, and go home.
Is that
That's
the first bathroom break?
Yeah, that's rapid break. Let me tell you, you've heard those reports today about the bathroom breaks? It's true. They did ask for those. Joe Biden's campaign did ask for those breaks. We did ask to have everybody's ears checked by a third-party arbiter to make sure that there was nothing in there, an electronic device, to make sure there's anything in there. We did ask for him to have a drug test. Hey, if you want to be leader, if you want to be commander-in-chief of the United States, I don't know why you would try to hide anything. Do it. You don't want to pretend like you're listening to something? Then let's check, because they agreed to that and then they disagreed to it. So I don't know what the Biden campaign, but listen. Joe Biden's got a lot to explain tonight. 47 years of failure.
It ain't gonna happen.
Well, I'm just gonna go with New Hampshire's feisty tonight. Y'all are feeling good about being here? Let me tell you. Yes!
What's he Joe Biden his teeth knocked down his throat?
Well, I think they'll keep their social distance, but we'll see. 47 years of failure. But not only that, not only has Joe Biden been a bad senator and a bad vice president, overseeing the slowest economic recovery, gutting our military, allowing the VA to fail our veterans in this country. The 94 crime bill, let's talk about what Joe Biden has done, but he has to defend the policy he's running on now. $4 trillion in tax hikes. Day one, he wants to do away with the Trump tax cuts. You know what that means? Raising taxes on the middle class. The media and Joe Biden will lie to you about that. But 82% of American families saw a tax cut because of the Trump tax cuts. He's going to do away with those. And not only will he do away with that, he'll do away with the opportunity zones. which put money into low-income communities in the United States, economic investment to lift them up. It's going to do away with that as well. And he wants to talk about it. Let's talk about it. The Green New Deal, banning fracking, eliminating fossil fuels. Let's see if Joe Biden answers those questions. Let's talk about the 94 crime bill. Joe Biden's got a bad record, and he's a bad candidate. But with those 9:30 lids, he's gotten a lot of rest, a lot of sleep. He's been able to rest up and get ready for this, but he's also got 47 years of debate experience. And let's remember, when he ran for vice president both times, each night he was declared the winner by the media. And I remember the debate versus Paul Ryan. I worked for Paul Ryan at the time. I remember being like, yeah, Paul crushed it. And then being like, what do you mean Joe Biden won? So let Joe's sleepy. He's not always throwing his fastball. He's got his good days and his bad days. But let's anticipate he's going to have a good day. But what we will see is President Trump. 100%. Unabashed, unafraid, and ready to defend his country. Because you know what? Joe Biden made his money in the swamp. Made his money off taxpayers. President Donald Trump, every time he gets a paycheck as president, gives it back. He's doing this for us. For us. For everybody in this room. Every day he wakes up and he says, what can I do for my country? What can I do for my fellow citizens? And that's who we're voting for. That's who we're fighting for. And we're getting up to that line. You know, Republicans were really good at ceding a little bit more, ceding a little bit more, giving a little bit more, giving a little bit more. We can't. We're at the cliff. It's here. It's now. It's this moment. It's this election. So we don't have any more ground to cede. We have to stand up and fight. And listen, it was mentioned I travel all over the country for the president. I don't always wear my Team Trump coat in the airport, but I did in Chicago the other day. Put it on. I'm walking through the airport gate to gate, and I had a weird moment. Somebody walked up to the back of me and just said, I support President Trump, but it was gone. I turned around and they were already gone. I didn't hallucinate it, but it was like a Field of Dreams moment. They came out of the corn, they went back into the corn. It was like they never existed. But that's that silent Trump supporter. That's that silent friend, family, neighbor, coworker, churchgoer that we know who maybe is worried. And we know why. I remember being here during the primaries and a 16-year-old boy got punched in the face. Right. And then somebody else got punched in the face for defending the 16-year-old boy. It happens. It's not okay. Today, a former Democrat press secretary at the White House said that my boss, the communications director for the Trump campaign, should be shot. Joe Lockhart, look him up, used to work for the NFL. It's out there, it's on Twitter. It's not okay. This is not our country. We cannot be silent anymore. There is too much at stake. It's about us, but it's about the long game. Where do we want our country to be in 5, 10, 20 years with Trump still in office? Kidding. Yeah, wrong Trump. Which one's it going to be, right? 5, 10, 20 years, where do we want it to be? Where do we want to be? Because we don't want to be higher taxes. We don't want to be socialized medicine. We want the Second Amendment. We want freedom. We want opportunity. We want the American dream. You're not going to get that with the other things. But it means we've got to do the work. So there are 2 things I ask of everybody everywhere I go before the big guy comes out. Get ready, it's going to be fun. Every day from now until Election Day. If you can sign up and help make phone calls or knock doors or join our Election Day operations program where you don't have to be a lawyer, you just got to know the rules to help make sure we make this a free and fair election, please do it. Please join this fight. It's all hands on deck. But hey, I get it. Everybody's busy. We've all got a million things going on and life is not slowing down. Talk to 5 people a day. And why do I say 5 people a day? Because I used to say 1 person a day, and then somebody in Florida yelled at me and said 5 people a day. So now you all get the brunt of what Florida said, and I absolutely expect New Hampshire to run up the score. So there you go. Well, sorry guys, now it's 100. So you're gonna have to really show up. But talk to 5 people a day, every day, from now until election day. Family, friends, neighbors, somebody at the grocery store, somebody at the gas station. I don't care where you meet them, talk to them. About this president, about this vice president, about the Senate, about the House of Representatives, about this state. About what freedom means to you and what opportunity means to you in this country and why we need 4 more years. Because I guarantee you, it's gonna make a difference. When you knock on a door, you get a 17% more likelihood that somebody goes and shows up on election day. And do I have any neighborhood team leaders in here? The Trump Neighborhood Team Leader Program? Oh, we got one? That's it. Our Neighborhood Team Leader Program, they organize church, they organize volunteers, they help knock doors and make phone calls.
They're out knocking doors.
They're busy. They're out knocking doors, right? That's a 15% more likelihood that voters turn out for President Trump. It's actually mathematically there that when we talk to other people about this, it moves the needle. So we've got to do it. And then on election day, the second thing I ask, on behalf of President Trump and Vice President Pence, is we run up the score. We can't leave room for doubt. We can't leave any room for questions or concerns, because if you leave that space, that's where Democrats will strike. That's where they'll sow doubt and confusion and chaos into our election results, and we cannot let that happen. It's up to us. America's freedom is really on the line now. The greatness of our nation falls on November 3rd. So, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for welcoming me back.